OR token is not a security. The OR token is not a stock. It is a video game token and is used for in-game purchases in OR-supported websites, video games, and the OR-Forge NFT marketplace. No ownership guarantees a percentage of any ownership of OR Systems Inc., any video games, content, media productions, or other, until options are extended. OR Systems Inc. is a privately owned and operated organization that utilizes blockchain technologies and provides real-world value to the intrinsic video game currency. As such, please ensure you approach the OR token at your own discretion. No one involved in this video is a financial advisor.
What is up, Warriors?
Gentlemen.
My boys Eric and Lucas, how you doing?
All right, man. How are you?
Good, good, good. Everybody out there in YouTube land, how are you doing? Hope well.
All of the millions out there listening and the billions
again, you can notice Armando's not with us again. You know, he's going through some stuff. We'll just leave it at that. You know, being an adult is rough. We all know that. So we wish Armando the best for sure. But we definitely miss him around here.
We did get to talk to him though, about a good 15 minutes. Yeah. It was great to hear his voice, and he was, you know, he's the guy could be going through whatever, and that guy will always have a great sense of humor, man. Got to hand it to him. So,
no, he's a good dude.
That's what I love about him. Armando, you are loved and missed.
What's new with OR? Let's get on that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, a pretty cool week from what
Spark.
I heard.
Yeah, I mean, everything's kind of hovering around Spark here lately. We had some we had some great conversations today with, you know, OG Arabian Prince. He's really adept when it comes to technology, man. He's really smart cat. He's helped me. He's going to come on board and help out with some of the heavy lift on the music with his network. So he's going to be instrumental in our success with that. In addition, I think the app is getting ready to roll on Google or the Android devices here pretty quick. The timeline is TBD, but it should be within the next week or two.
No, that's pretty quick.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's coming up fast. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to download that.
Yeah, and the iTunes it will be shortly thereafter as well. You know, it's one of those sequencing things we have to play by other people's availability too.
And if you, or Spark Android app processed through approval. So yes, we should be good. We'll be having apps on both platforms soon. If you don't know what Spark is, you should go to or-spark.com and check it out. It's a NFT media streaming platform, similar to like a Spotify or whatnot, but instead we use NFTs that you may own, or they may be your songs, and you will get definitely more money putting them on there than you will on Spotify. So you might want to check out or-spark.com. Right below us, there's some websites scrolling past. Staking.
Staking is going well. Lots of questions about staking.
I mean, it looks like it's going well. Staking opportunities are now available with OR token. Check out stakes.or-system.com and check that out.
All right.
Get your stake in there.
Oh, I did it right away.
Well. Look,
speaking of staking, here comes the mastermind behind it all.
Mr. Joe.
Joe, how are you?
Mr. Joe, how are you?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
We can absolutely
loud
hear
and
you,
clear.
sir.
All right, awesome.
How is everything, sir?
Doing good. How are you guys doing? I see a lot of Ore
Great.
Spark and Ore Forge and
Just
a lot of
constantly
things happening.
coming up with stuff. I don't know where these guys are pulling it out of, but they're constantly coming up with stuff. It's pretty.
Not me, man. I'm watching these guys do their thing, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I was actually just checking the ore-spark.com, some of that stuff. It looks really good. You guys got this up and running in no time. It's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, we're still working through the listen to earn aspects of that thing, but incremental progress.
Yeah, but staking, huh? Like so. Yeah, as I guess a lot of your listeners know, we're Yummy. We have a staking platform that's been going on for quite some time. It's going strong. We added a few more features recently, gladiator pools and a few other things. But yeah, we're going to get some more staking happening over there as well.
And how are those pools coming along? Like the gladiator pool, like that's ridiculous. That was really cool.
Yeah, they're a little bit on the degen side, I would say. But if you're pretty good if you're familiar with the BNB up down game on Cake on Pancake Swap, it's kind of similar, but with more tokens and using staking pools. So essentially trying to predict, price movements for some of these tokens. And if you're pretty good at it, yeah, you can get some pretty nice returns. As much as probably like 10-15% in a week if you keep being consistent at it.
Sure,
it's a little bit gamification. We have a few other ideas popping up, also around social media games, and for people to do like promoting of products and stuff, where you essentially get people duking it out with tags on social media, and whoever has the most tags disseminated, either retweets or whatever, kind of wins everybody's pot basically, and you kind of put that.
Oh yeah, that's pretty wild.
Form. Yeah, it's like we have some ideas, and by the way, this applies not just the Yummy token, but we can do this with any token.
Sure.
And it's something that we're also extending to like partners and everything. For gladiator pools are getting around 700, 800 visits a day for those. Like people are kind of interested just for the gamification aspect. So yeah, it's looking good. But we're looking to also put some oil yielding ore staking and oil yielding Yummy as well on the platform. That should be something that you guys over there will kind of like, and you use it as well, kind of expand the utility of the tokens. So I think that's going to be pretty awesome.
Absolutely. We're just trying to get the opportunity to distribute wallet addresses with some of those staking opportunities so we can get more people to have attention on the project.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely, and also those things are like, things like the gladiator pools and the social media pools, they're just interesting games that people like to do to kind of spend the time, because you don't have to sit down and actually play a game for a long period of time. Just something that you kind of check every day, kind of like fantasy football, if you will, kind of similar. So it provides that daily engagement for people to be interested in. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so outside of staking, like with your degen staking and everything, what else you guys been up to since the last time y'all came on the show over at Yummy?
Well, honestly, a lot of this stuff has been, hunkered down for the market. As you all know, the market has been going crazy, not just with crypto, but just everything, equity, real estate, take your pick kind of thing. So the message around the community has always been that, we have some cards, waiting to play, but the sentiment right now is kind of rough. So we just have to keep building, make the platform a little bit better. We have a few other things we're coming up in mind to introduce. So just get the devs working, people developing things, and just kind of keep the spirits high and just ride this current market. It's not easy for anybody. For anybody that's looking around and just looking at other projects that existed throughout the last 6 months to 18 months, if you will, so many are gone and teams are missing, no development whatsoever, and it's because it's rough, and you just have to keep going at it. So yeah, that's basically
you can handle the stock market being down, or the bond market being down, or the real estate market being down. It's kind of hard to take it on the chin with all three of them not really trending in a positive direction right now.
Yeah, and a lot of times
everybody's feeling the squeeze
all the time that the truth is the crypto markets are not independent of all those, especially when it comes to the US market. And the moment that you start having some really tough times in those equity markets, you're going to have them in crypto as well. There's just nothing about it. You know, it's just the way it is.
Touching on that subject, I was actually about to ask you how does the crypto winter, if you will, how's that treating you? I mean, or how do you navigate the all the, like you said, the craziness that's going on, and not just in crypto, but
market.
yeah.
I mean, the whole point is like, so as most people know, we have, you know, around right now about 1.2 million or so in reserve funds that we can use for buybacks and things of the sort. So kind of people know that we have a good amount of reserve capital to use this. My most frequent DM that I get on Telegram all the time is people say, hey, you should be buying more tokens, should be buying more tokens. No, everybody just kind of wants buybacks to happen and such. But in reality, you have to, first off, you know, steer the ship and keep a cool head and just kind of cascade the message to people, say, hey guys, this is the plan. I know that nobody is content right now. Nobody is happy.
Oh, we know that.
Yeah, nobody is happy. Everybody, and a lot of times, because at Yummy, and it's the same thing with you guys, you know, pretty much it's an open Telegram. People can come and say whatever, you know, and sometimes people go there to vent a bit, and sometimes they lost money in another project or something like that, so they go there, they vent a bit. But the truth is, you know, this is when you really differentiate projects, you know, like a rising tide lifts all ships. It's when stuff hits the fan that you find out the teams that are actually trying to build something, the teams that are trying to move forward. And, you know, I'm not saying it's easy, but we managed to kind of balance that messaging a little bit. And for the large, you know, for the majority of the community, they're pretty much on board with it. And they kind of understand that we're trying to build something, and there's really no good place to hide right now, basically. You know, it's just it's just the way it is.
Well, yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons we were focusing so much on the utility aspects of what we can do with our tokens, so that we can show value and hang on to those token holders, that they can get something back from the money that they're spending as well.
Yeah.
Like with that said, like I noticed you guys have a lot of like partnerships when it comes to the staking opportunities. What are some of the benefits that you guys are seeing from those partnerships
Well,
that could help
the single biggest advantage is, you
better
know,
understand
just
the
awareness.
audience?
Yeah, just basically awareness is probably the number one advantage, because
Yeah.
if you have a community that has, you know, like 10,000 people, another community that has another 8,000, 9,000 people, the probability of overlap of both communities is kind of low. So if you have a staking pool in which you have some of your tokens to the other community and they give you some of their tokens, it's kind of like a net zero cost for both projects involved. But then you get the overlap of those two communities, and you have people, you know, and staking by itself is kind of a daily that requires some engagement. So if someone is staking on your platform or staking and receiving a token, they're going to read about it. They're going to ask for information. They're going to kind of find more than just like getting something staked. And because it goes over, you know, 90 days or something like that, at least you have that branding and you have that name coming up every 90 days. Now, of course, that doesn't guarantee anything in terms of getting people to buy in, whatever. That's when you have to have all your ducks in a row when it comes to messaging, and when it comes to have, like, you know, a decent website and some sort of a Telegram in which people can actually get information, and then people will start getting more and more, and, you know, they might buy in your project. And the other thing is, you know, crypto is so tribal. I mean, people are, you know, they're usually attached to one or two projects and they stick with it to the end because there's all this tribalism kind of going on. And what I always say to people, it's like, you know, this is such a fast moving field that you got to just rely on the teams who are actually trying to do something, because just because something looks good right now, there's no guarantee it's going to look good in a month. Like, and usually the biggest differential, you know, if you look at guys that I respect in the field, like, you know, CZ from Binance and everything, every time that the market hits the fan, he's always saying, you know, hunker down and keep building stuff, keep doing stuff, keep doing stuff. And eventually it's going to pay off. But it's hard, you know, especially when you're in the thick of it and people are upset or something like that. You know, it's kind of hard to maintain motivation, but you just got to do it.
Patience is not a virtue in that. I know what you mean. You're talking about heartstrings on that. Yep.
We were just talking about how, like, some, you know, we had some diehards with us for a long time, and out of the blue, they'll just they'll just jump ship, and you'll never
Yeah.
see them again. It's just insane. It's weird to me. I mean,
Well, this capitulation exists. This is not a phenomenon that's. I mean, people saw this in the penny stocks of the '90s and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's no different than it was back in those days. It's like, everybody knew somebody who made millions in penny stocks, so they started doing the same thing. And then when it didn't happen for them, they would lose patience. But then, guarantee that the next time that crypto has another bull market, which you will have sooner or later, it's just pretty much a guarantee. You're going to see a lot of those people just coming back once again and say, hey, I still hold the oil token. What's up with you guys? And, and you'll be like, yeah, man, we're still here and we're still doing our thing. It's
Losers lose, winners learn. You know?
Exactly.
And with that mindset, it's every opportunity is the ability to learn, make smarter decisions. Sometimes people figure that out, and sometimes people just sit around with a bag of sour grapes.
Yeah.
And also, and we're trying to help people. We're trying to help people too. We don't want to see anybody part on bad terms ever.
Yeah, and there's another phenomenon that a lot of people don't think about, but I've already seen it many times because I've been doing this for quite some time, which is, people participate in the market, in the bull markets. And once crypto winter comes, they just go back to their daily jobs, go back to whatever. And, volume goes down like 80% or 90% or something like that, and stuff just stops. Yeah. But if you're a project who already been through multiple cycles, a funny thing that happens is, you have a lot of people that will buy tokens of your project. They keep them in the wallet, and the price drops, so they're like, it's not even worth selling. I don't care about it. I'm just going to go back to my daily life. And then the market gets crazy again, and then all of a sudden they realize they no longer have their wallets, and they no longer have their keys to the crypto, whatever, because it's in their phone that they already switched, and they don't have it. So if you actually manage to ride these waves, there's a significant amount of tokens that will never hit the market again from people right now, for both Yummy, for oil. Right. There's a significant amount of tokens that will never hit the market again, because those people had wallets with, $10, $20, $30 in it. They just decide to say F this, and they move on to something else. And then two years from now or 3 years from now, whenever market is crazy again, prices are good. I'm like, I used to have some more tokens. Oh man, but they were in my previous phone. Yeah. Can't have them anymore. And you're like, well, now they're out of circulation. So everybody else in the community kind of thanks you for that. So, and I've already seen this happen with a lot of different projects, and it's huge numbers, because then people can track wallets that haven't done anything in years. Right. And I'm pretty sure that the same thing will happen this time. I think even more, because even more people participated in this bull market. So,
Joe, what would be the best way for our audience to participate in the Yummy experience?
I think the best way, the thing that still differentiates us from the rest, is the education that is provided on our Telegram. I honestly think it's second to none. Like, even the other day, we're discussing, the validators of the Binance Smart Chain and how that works. And people ask really sometimes specific questions about how things work. And I'm always surprised by the quality of the information that gets thrown around. So the Yummy experience, I'll say right now, would be to fully understand how decentralized finance works at all levels, whether it's how liquidity is provided, how yield is gained, what exactly are the payoffs, and why platforms are able to offer the yields. All those things, I think that's what people will be able to get a pretty good education in. And I'm very bullish on decentralized finance, because at the end of the day, what that means is no gatekeepers, right? Anybody who digs into this seriously will understand that this is essentially a libertarian's dream, if you will, with a few other things in the mix. And eventually it's also going to be a lot more cost effective. So it is going to happen. The big issue is that, there's some pretty big gatekeepers preventing it from moving forward, but eventually it will happen. And the sooner we start understanding how decentralized finance works and all those things, the more you can actually have a career around it, or a lifestyle that in some ways touches it, the sooner you can start benefiting from some of the trends that are going to show up. So to answer the question, the best way to experience Yummy is to come to the Telegram, play around with our staking platform, even if you're only using a few pennies. If you have questions, ask, and just get educated. Because we're also doing a lot of work on the Yummy Academy, which is something we've been working on for quite some time.
Nice.
And we're going to have some classes and a few other things detailing what blockchain is. So education is really going to be the thing that we're going to center a lot of our sites in, because we think that there's going to be a big demand for it.
Agreed.
I think that's absolutely important.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Educating your audience and educating people that I've got a lot of misnomers about what blockchain is and how it all works, and crypto and NFTs and all of it. So I educating the masses, man, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
What's coming up next on the Yummy roadmap?
So some of the things we have lined up is we're helping other projects right now, kind of working with migrations of their own to kind of tap in some of their lock liquidities that they have, and with that, kind of add them to our ecosystem and make it a bit bigger. We also have some of the part like I was mentioning about working for getting the Yummy Academy out there, and kind of do a system where you're going to have certificates issued that were essentially NFTs. You do a couple of classes and you be certified. You do like an exam. All of that stuff, kind of, questions being recorded on the blockchain, basically. That's one of the things we're working on. And then in the meantime, there's other ideas that we have, but, we also understand that the market is what it is. It's not really worth kind of putting a plan in place to try to increase the size of your project, or you would get some hype when sentiment is kind of low. So capital preservation is still going to be the name of the game. We're still going to, kind of keep staking, keep doing our thing, preserve capital. And once the market starts opening up again, people start feeling a little bit better, going to roll again marketing efforts and kind of promote whatever is going to be the most at the time. So yeah, right now, that's kind of where we have our sites. It's again, the education aspect, and essentially trying to build reserve funds by also helping other projects migrating into our platform. Because the truth is there are a lot of projects that, due to their nature and the lack of liquidity and essentially the lack of an active team, they're simply not going to go anywhere. They are abandoned. But some of these projects still have value, and they still have liquidity that we're able to pull with the help of the community.
Sure.
So reaching out to these project owners all the time, and it's somewhat of an ungrateful assignment, because a lot of these owners don't care. And I mean, I'm always surprised by how many projects we see that the owners really don't care about the community. For one, like the number one question is immediately, what's in it for me? Basically, like, if we help you guys. We even had one owner that essentially wanted us to pay him like $300K or something for him to give us the ability to drain the liquidity from his project, which is like, close to $1 million, but essentially would crush everybody. So his idea was like, hey, you guys give me $300K, I give you the keys, and then I can walk away, and you can pull $800K from the community and, essentially F everybody up. But you guys will be sitting at $500,000 profit. So, and obviously we said no way, because I mean, that's ridiculous. And the guy is never active in this project, and he never shows up. And that was essentially his only proposal. So it's really sad when you see projects like that, but the reality is that's what's out there.
It's crazy how some they just get abandoned like that too. Like somebody put so much hard work into it and then just abandon it.
Well, when a lot of these were just like hyped up, they were just, their plan was to hype things up on social media and everything. And when the train stopped, they were like, well, we don't actually have any ideas. We don't have a product. We just kind of riding the wave. And then because of the nature of some of these contracts, which have locked liquidity, there's actually quite a decent amount of value in those. We just need to have the project owners to play ball, and we're able to extract a lot of value from it. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Right. But once the market also improves, we have other plans for a few other things as well that we already have some development work, but no issue announcing what those are specifically. The community kind of knows bits and pieces of it, but we're just waiting for things to improve.
That's awesome.
That's great. We got a hard out coming up at 7:30. We're basically trying to split the show into two segments. Yes. So we're going to have to let you out of here on the promise to have you back and come on, and we can talk about setting up, or how successful we are at setting up the Or for Yummy, Yummy for Yummy, Or for Or reciprocally in these staking pools.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely cover that. And, keep chugging at it, guys. You guys are always doing a great work. It's always great to talk with you guys.
Always.
One of the best teams in crypto as well. And
Thank you.
I look forward to see what happens with the All Spark and the All Forge and everything. All Forge really looks awesome. The Spark is also looking pretty cool. So
It's going to get better. It's just
Yeah.
a start.
We appreciate that.
all right, man. Have a good one. You guys
Joe,
take
have
care.
a good one, buddy.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, enjoy your evening, Jeff.
Forge greatness, this is what you need. Next level marketplace with the NFT. Music, podcasts, movies, and more. Crypto games, take it to the next level for sure. Or system, or system. If you buy the NFT, this is what you're missing. Or system, or system. If you buy the NFT, this is what you're missing. To my movie makers and musicians, time to level up. Bring your content, even all my game developers. We got movie streaming, music streaming, so you wanna be in the mix. This ain't no big production company. Over 25,000 or users, yes indeed. Only charging 2.3% sales fee. Own all your music, all your games, own your future. Set your own terms. This is how you do it. You need or system, or system. If you buy the NFT, this is what you're missing. Or system, or system. If you buy the NFT, this is what you're missing. Let's go. Forge greatness. Woo!
What does CBGB stand for?
Country Bluegrass Blues.
We have a band.
You're gonna want to crank it.
Not very country.
This club's gonna be different.
This band is Talking Heads.
We're the Ramones.
We're the Jet Boys.
Patti Smith Group. Lou Reed. I can't sleep on a mattress when bands are getting signed right and left. These kids have something to say. We really should listen.
And we're back in the Warrior Hour. And we have our buddy Lane over here from CrowdShare, the app. It's a really cool app. What I was reading about, I'm pretty interesting, man.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into it now.
Yeah,
We got to get a little bit, get to know you a little bit before we get into the
For sure.
specifics. We do the LinkedIn stock, and it said that you were a barbecue connoisseur and an avid ping pong enthusiast. Do you smoke? Do you barbecue? Do you grill? Do you smoke?
Oh yeah. So my wife says I don't have any hobbies except for starting business on barbecue, and I actually even started a barbecue business at one point, and my wife said that's enough, no more. So yeah, I've got a offset smoker I had made by a buddy of mine, and I've even got a huge trailer one I compete with. So yeah,
Nice.
Oh, yeah, my whole staff basically every weekend asks me if I'm smoking. They're like, "You smoking this weekend at all? What are we eating
I
Monday?"
got to get my
Sure.
fix.
Yeah. Bring some prime rib Monday.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was one of my questions. What do you got, a stick burner or easy bake?
Oh yeah, no, I've got
Yeah.
I've got three stick burners that I utilize, and two of them were made from oil fill pipe that my buddy made for me. So I'm like,
How cool.
oh yeah, I took this hobby way way too far, but it's something that I like to do. And anytime I go out and cook, it's fun because we pick a firehouse just around, and we cook it. We invite everybody over, and when we're done, we box up the rest and we take it to a firehouse for the weekend. And it's usually like a full 2.5 briskets that we have over, because I don't do anything
about
small.
30 pounds of meat left over.
Oh yeah, for the weekend.
I got to hear more about.
I'm throwing something on. Yeah, I'm throwing something on for our church. We're doing something this weekend. It's a birthday celebration, so we're gonna smoke some meat and barbecue after church.
There you go. What were you asking, Eric?
I was going to say with the ping pong, man. Let's. What are some odds on a game of ping pong? Beating people are offhand, dial up, spin. I'm trying to throw whatever little bit of ping pong knowledge I have, man.
So that all started when I was at a big box agency, and the only thing that we had, like, you want that Google vibe in all of these companies. So they have like the break room over here and the video games over here. Well, not this company. This company just had a ping pong table because the manager there was like, the manager of our division was a ping pong guy. Well, they hired this new guy, and he came in, and he was like literally a national champion. And the manager didn't. And so the manager was playing him and just getting smoked every game, and got so mad that he moved that ping pong table over into our area. And so then we just picked it up and just started playing it. And so, I'm all right. I got the little, smoke thing. So it's...
Well, aside from barbecue and ping pong, how did you come about starting CROWDSHARE?
I was in the music industry for about 12 years, and way back before they even had MySpace, I was doing digital media. And y'all remember Yahoo groups? Remember Yahoo chat?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm from the world of Texas music. So Texas country, Red Dirt, it had a really great beginning because it was all about word of mouth. It was all about, you could never get them played on the radio. You couldn't get anything more than that. But you would have these guys that would sell out 30,000 cap festivals, but they couldn't be played on the radio because they weren't, they didn't have distribution or things like that. So we were trying to find a really good way to market these guys and get these guys more north and more, spread out, as far as we could. So I discovered Yahoo groups, and I started, there was one particular chat group that we had, and I loved it. They were called the Manhattan Two-Steppers, and it was in Manhattan, Kansas. And so we got them to kind of become our digital street team, and push the bands. These bands would come up to Kansas, they would play there, and they would all sell out, so they would play for the door and still walk with $3 or $4 grand, right? And we would do that all throughout, Midwest, throughout the South. And I started a company around it, built brands for bands, for touring and to radio support and festivals and all that stuff. They were dropping a single, we'd create the album stuff. I mean, it was just stuff I loved doing. Sure. And then I sold that company. I went to work for, like I said, a big box company. And actually, the last one I worked for was Google's global strategic partner. And I left there to start my own thing, and I just happened to be duck hunting. And yes, I am this country. I'm telling you, we started off talking about brisket smoking into duck hunting, and I'm 6'3" country boy. So, but we were duck hunting, and my buddy is like, I think I'm going to start my own hunting guide service. Now, keep in mind, I'm 6'3", he's 6'10". He truly makes, like, he was sitting, we were in the boat, and I was like, all right, okay, buddy. And oh yeah. And he's actually on my Instagram, and everybody thinks that it's fake. And I'm like, no, he's But we were on this lake in Texas called Caddo. Caddo is the only natural lake in the state of Texas. And people travel from around the world to hunt on Caddo, hunt and fish on Caddo. But all the hunting guides out there were like 900 years old. We used to joke that one of the guys took Methuselah out for his first hunting trip. And so he's a young guy, and he's asking me if I would help. And I said, yeah, I'll create you a logo and a website. And I said, but social media is going to be the most important thing that you use, right? Instagram is going to be huge for hunting. And he asked me if he should buy ads. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, you're in a niche of a niche of a niche market. Yeah, but you really need your family and friends who hunt to tell their family and friends, and you'll stay booked all season. I literally looked at the guy in good old marketing, from Steve Jobs. I went, I'm sure there's an app for that. Turns out there wasn't. And so 7 years later, I am about to launch CrowdShare officially in 1 month. No pressure.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
It's the only organic engine that actually gets people. You can choose who shares your content. Helpful.
It's going to be super helpful, especially going forward with Web3. Some of those, it's going to change our habits. We're in the music, sticking our toes in the music industry now too with blockchain music. So the opportunities are expansive in that capacity as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any limit to what's about to happen in this world. So I mean, the other day I paid for something with a digital currency, and I was like, "This is cool," and my kids are like, "You're old." I'm like,
I mean, I'm surprised your kids said that. I'm surprised that
right.
They should be the ones into that. Like I remember telling my parents about like websites, and they were like, "You're crazy. It's never gonna go anywhere," But now the kids think we're nuts. But hey,
my dad used to tell me to stop playing on that computer.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I always thought I was just playing with it and joking around and playing games and talking to my buddies.
Don't talk to strangers. Don't accept rides from strangers. Now we're booking rides from strangers on our phones.
Yeah. How about it, man? Doing the exact opposite of what we were taught, man, growing up.
Yeah.
Can you, Lane? Can you talk a little bit about the difference between marketing and advertising? I know a lot of people think they're one and the same, and they're not. There's some big differences. Love to get your take on that, and the difference between B2B and B2C marketing.
Same thing.
Yeah, so I think there's I've literally for the last several years I've spent my time at so many different marketing conferences and so many different takes on that. You've got one that is literally to drive brand acquisition to one that is supposed to drive consumer acquisition, right? And a lot of people don't understand that these things need to work together, but they don't work separately. There's a reason why McDonald's still spends nearly $1 billion a year marketing McDonald's, right? One of the largest brands in the world, seriously, one of the most iconic brands in the world, known in parts they don't even have electricity, but they know the golden arches.
You could probably go as far as to say McDonald's never have to make another commercial again, and they're still going to be successful. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But why do they do that? Because of brand recognition, right. And on the other side is to advertise what they are selling.
Right.
And it's amazing that people don't really see it. And so McDonald's actually, have you noticed that they don't really have a hardcore social media presence?
No, I've noticed.
Okay, the reason why they don't do that is because they have people that already share their content with all the contests and the things that they offer. So they don't have to spend a lot of money on ads to get people to share their content. Why do they do that? Because they've already built brand loyalty. So then you have advertising and marketing all wrapped into one.
That's truth.
It's the same concept when you look at, what's the old joke? There's a reason why Lamborghini doesn't advertise. Well, I just actually saw an advertisement for Lamborghini today because people are like, wait a minute, who's the best advertiser for Lamborghini? I don't know.
Yeah.
The guy driving it. Yeah. So they're using social media. I mean, I just think there's a difference. Do you want brand recognition or do you want to drive profits?
Agreed.
Well said, man.
Yeah.
I've never heard that one, by the way. Like, why? That's awesome. I'm going to use that.
So, if somebody wants to get going with CrowdShare ahead of the app coming out, how do they get in touch with you? How do they figure out what you're doing and how to get your help?
Well, so right now, what we're doing is we're about to put a waiting list on there because we have about 1,200 brands that actually want to be attached to us right now. So we're super excited about that. I've been hustling, man. I told my staff, I'm going to sell it. Just get it out there. So
it's that entrepreneurial life, man. It's a grind.
This is what I'm good at. I mean, nobody's more passionate about it than I am. My staff is amazing. They are truly they come to work, they're pumped, ready to go. So. And they really do, and it's like they come to me and they're like, "We've got an idea," and I'm in awe, and I'm like, I'm the dumb redneck from like East Texas, going, "Okay, that sounds great." Like we're still sharing though, right? Okay, good. These guys are just they're so amazing. But if we're about to launch a waiting list campaign, that allow people to get on and actually even get a discount on it. We've loved the amount of traction we've already gotten and the messages that we've gotten. It's really cool. My favorite part of the internet is the people that don't understand how to use the internet. I always say that they find me like right away. And my favorite part is that I had one person tell me that they will never use my platform because they weren't able to use my platform yet. So I'm like, well, at least they wanted to use it. So that's a victory.
That's so weird. Like it's like they're threatening you to put it out now, or I'm not going to use it. It's like weird.
We were just talking about how toxic communities can be, man, especially in Telegram and wherever. I mean, it could be Twitter, whatever it is. Yeah, man.
I mean,
that's a great. For the most part, everybody's really pleasant to engage with, but there are a few people walk around with some sour grapes from time to time. You know what's funny that you're in on that, man. Our AR platform is going to be something that would plug right into what you guys are doing, man. We'd love to like touch base with you, you know, on the side outside of the show, and we could talk some specifics on that. It's really going to be a neat opportunity. It kind of fits perfectly with what you're slinging, man. Love to be able to.
I love that. I love
at least
connecting. And seeing what you can grow together. I just do. I love this. You know, you're right. Community can be toxic, but look at that. We just formed a community on this.
Right.
Well, I love that. And that's one of the things that I like about our platform is also being able to control what message is shared by the community. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, man. Cool. I can't wait to connect about this. Really and truly.
Being that you were in the music industry, I'm sorry, Lucas. I was saying, being that you were in the music industry, would you say this app, CROWDSHARE, is it like a more for bands? Is it suited for musicians and bands, or?
It's suited. So it's suited both for the musician, the band, the bands, the venue, the management companies. I mean, you have to understand there's not one thing that it's not suited for. You know, you asked about B2B to B2C just a second ago. Our platform allows, and we've got a B2B company that literally all they do is sell, you know, products inside their industry. And they're going to utilize it for brand recognition and reputation management, which makes sense because they can get the people that have already used their platform, or use their products, and their salespeople and their staff to post things just directly through LinkedIn, but share it automatically, and then also through Twitter for them. So those are the two, you know, socials that they chose. Think about a band, though. I mean, come on, you know, you're a band and you're about to put out a new single, and you've got 10,000 fans that are connected on that. Imagine if you did a contest, and this is where my old thought process came with the music industry. You put a contest out there that, you know, the person that gets the most likes in a campaign gets it, and you can power it through CrowdShare. You get 10,000 people automatically share it like that. You're reaching what, 4 or 5 million people overnight?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's huge.
That's really cool. Not a bad
proliferation of information sharing with social media is going to, I mean, once people figure out how to harness some of those capabilities, it's going to change the way a lot of people do business on a regular basis.
Agreed, wholeheartedly.
One of the things that I always liked, and I think Sean, if forgive me if it wasn't, but I believe Sean was the one that coined the term, it's white collar solutions for blue collar businesses. And it sounds like you can give those small businesses that upper hand and compete with the bigger ones, you know?
Oh yeah. My father was a paraplegic that owned a construction company. My mother was a retired teacher that took over a fax paper. I know that sounds funny. A fax paper reclamation company, and to sell it small businesses.
Wow. Okay.
My biggest thing is I always looked at this. There's a reason why our price point is. I've been asked this by VCs, by people. Why is your price point so ridiculously low? Because I look at my paraplegic father and my mother, and I go, what would they be able to afford to run their business? And $100 a month for a social media planner for, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, and resharing it with dashboards and analytics. That makes sense to me. $1,500 doesn't. And it's never going to make sense to me. It only makes sense to me that the person that's starting up their business can have a marketing center in a box, right? And that they can get 50 of their closest friends, family that want to see their business thrive and take off, that they can automatically share through them. I'm passionate because I've been in this industry for so long, and I see companies that struggle and they don't have the right thing. And I will say, when I owned my agency, I wasn't cheap, but the way I sold it was this. how much would you pay on somebody's salary to come in here and run all your marketing? Oh, I'd pay X amount of dollars. That's what I'm charging, and this is what you get. I just shrunk it down into a box.
Right.
Nuts and bolts, man. Brass tacks. We're getting right down to it. Really, that's I love it, man. Right down to the point, man.
Perfect.
Eager to check it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to download it. I mean, I have to sign up for a waiting list now, you're saying?
Not yet. It'll come out. The waiting list comes out on the 1st. So tomorrow.
There's a waiting list for the waiting list, Jimmy.
Yes.
God, these guys, man.
About a meeting.
You know that carrot.
Maybe we can get the inside track. Who knows?
The early access, huh?
It's a meeting about an email. So
yeah,
that's awesome, man.
It's half of my day these days is the meeting about the meeting.
Well, Lucas, do you have anything else for Mr. Lane here?
No, we don't.
When can we have you back on?
Really appreciate you.
We got to get you on for a part 2. We got to.
Oh man, I'm down. I'll tell you what. Let me get through launch and
post launch. Yeah.
We got Web Summit that we were invited to. We're super unbelievably stoked about that in Portugal at the beginning of November.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then we're doing Social Media Week in London the very next week. We're actually we're slated to. We haven't locked it in yet, but we're supposed to be day 2 speaking there. So we'll do that. But let's try to do this. Let's reconvene after that, because then I'd love to report back and say this is where we are.
Yes.
Gonna have some wild and crazy stories from Portugal and London. Sounds like
that's the plan.
London's a pretty good time.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Can't wait, man.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks so much for taking a minute out of your evening, Lane, to come on with us and share your story.
Absolutely.
Following your progress.
Thank you all very much for having me on here.
All right, we appreciate you, man. Let's keep in touch.
Talk to y'all soon.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. Be good.
Well, Mr. Lane and Mr. Joe, a twofer today. That was a good deal.
That was awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah, 2 really smart guys, man. I'm really happy that this is our scene, if you will.
One thing that we've lucked out on is we've had some pretty incredible guests.
Absolutely.
And, definitely no shortage of it as of right now, man. I love it. Always curious who we're going to be getting next week.
Just wanted to remind everybody out there, if you buy $500 worth of OR token using PayPal on our website, you will get a free OR branded Cool Wallet Pro, but you pay shipping. You pay the shipping, we send it to you. And
actually, a good handful should have gotten theirs by now.
Don't forget that we also have staking opportunities now available. So make sure you check out stakes.or-system.com. Over 211 trillion or something are already staked.
Yeah.
So get on that. Do something with those tokens if they're just sitting there. Why just let them sit there? You might as well do something with them, right?
Something substantial too, man.
Boys, you guys got anything else you want to say? You guys were talking.
You know what? I actually do have something kind of exciting. This definitely perked my ears. Me being I guess who isn't a Star Wars nerd to some degree? Not all of us, but some more than others. Jimmy, I'm looking in your direction. So next week, make sure you tune in. We've got Pete Fletcher and Scotty J-Roll, Star Wars podcasters and the organizers of Podathon 2022. It's an all-day live stream benefiting Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is awesome. We are going to talk about their event, and you get a chance on the Warrior Hour to watch an exclusive clip from interviews with the writer and director of Star Wars The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, and actor Seth Green. The one thing I will tell you about Rian Johnson, from what I know, I've done a pretty deep dive on him. There's interviews out there, but it's very rare he does a lot of interviews, especially about the whole Star Wars universe and what he's contributed. So that's going to be cool because he's not always out there doing it. So, and I love Seth
That
Green.
sounded really fanboy, Eric.
Yeah, I know. I didn't
I
mean
love the
it.
fact that I love that we get to like interact with stuff that makes you happy, man. It's fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
Speaking of the yeah.
Go ahead, Luke.
You had mentioned PayPal, Jimmy. That brings up something that I was thinking about. The 50-state NFT voting criterion that we're minting for NFTs, that's a little bit behind schedule because of the fact that we had to roll PayPal back into the developmental stages. There were some issues with it when we tried to bring it forward. We didn't want to start running those NFT project ahead of the PayPal. So that should be sorted out here pretty quick. We just had some final production issues that we were cleaning up, so the user experience with the PayPal on the Forge wouldn't be confusing. So as soon as we get that cleaned up, we'll get those NFTs out for the AR alpha.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. People were asking about the AR in the YouTube chat. I haven't seen it really yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. I mean,
me too, man. Absolutely.
When is that supposed to come out exactly? No, we're not an exact date on it.
We should make them sign up for a waiting list.
Yeah, you make us a waiting list for the waiting list.
I'm just kidding, man.
Nice. Well, boys.
Now, in addition to that, those guys coming on the show next week, we're going to try and get OG back on to talk some of the MDDAO funding raise for their round one. Went really well. They're getting ready to go into round two. Get an update from him on how things went and how things are going.
That's exciting, man. That's some exciting stuff.
He's a really sharp cat. He's a fun dude to talk to. He sees things, a dearth of experience and exposure to a lot of different stuff. So he's a really interesting guy to talk to.
Yep, and he's lively too, which is awesome. Like he's got the like you said, he's really intelligent. He's got that acumen for that kind of thing in business. But he's a great guy. It's a lot of fun, man. So OG, we love you.
Yes, we do.
Can't wait to have him on. Absolutely, it's always a good time.
I mean, we messed up last week, but we're not gonna let that happen again, are we? We're just not gonna happen again.
Oh man, you know it's funny. As much as I like to think, like, win some, lose some, but that's all right. I still had fun. We were still there. We try to show up every week, man. To the community, we're here every week. You know, we try to engage. We try to let everyone know what's going on as much as we can. But we're still here, man. We're still cranking it out, man. We got some exciting stuff coming. So.
It's all going to fall into place.
And like Joe Foote said, it's the guys that are weathering the storms. It's the guys that are sticking with it and laying the foundation, and they're, building, consistently building. There's not a day that goes by we're not building.
And the people that have left our community, they're not just going to get rid of that. Or just like Joe said, they're going to sit on it and watch something happens and become a running back. Oh, hi, guys. Remember me?
No, okay. We'll welcome you back with open arms because we're accepting. We don't hold grudges or anything like that.
But it's coming.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Oh, boys. Well, I mean, if we don't really have much else, I think we covered what we wanted to cover today. We can.
I think you're right.
Put a pin in it.
We can put a pin in it. We can stick a fork in this one. We can say.
Actually, I do want to give one shout out, man. Shards GSM. Man, that guy's been in our corner since day one, and he's done nothing. He's done nothing but sending positive feedback. Some of it's very articulate in some critique, but man, Charge GSM, man, you've been awesome.
Yeah,
I get a lot of really great messages. He's one of our community members, man. So thank you. Just want to let you know from the bottom of my heart. He chimes in every once in a while. He's like, "Hey, man, I think you guys are doing great."
And it's
certain things. Yeah, absolutely.
So
very constructive. But
we'll
right.
take constructive criticism. Nobody's against constructive criticism.
Yeah.
If you're just going to sit there and yell at us what you think we should do, then that's not going to get anything.
Yeah.
Wow, it's actually funny, you know. I mean,
it's funny, right? I just had to fun out somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well.
I'm looking in your direction.
So next week we're going to see this exclusive clip, right? The Star Wars
absolutely.
Interview? Okay. We don't know the guest just yet, or we can't say just yet.
Scott and Pete.
Yeah, we're good.
Who is it?
Yeah. Scotty and Pete, I believe. If I don't have my notes in front of me, but
from what company?
I thought Eric's video guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes
Pete
sense.
Fletcher and Scotty J-Ro.
And
We're gonna have a Potathon 2020.
Gotcha. Nailed it. Nerd stuff.
Yeah.
Eric's
and I gotta give a shout out to David Trina, man. That guy's been kicking a lot of butt, man, for us.
Eric's gonna have to run the next show. Probably we'll never shut him up. He'll just ask Star Wars questions.
Oh,
Star Wars questions.
I'm not doing the questions next week.
I gotta listen.
Right.
Oh, man.
Where were you in 1979?
Yeah, right. I love it.
All right, fellas. Well, it's 8 o'clock. We could wrap this up and get ourselves prepared for a little dinner over here.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, guys.
I do want to thank everybody. I'm sure Eric and Lucas want to thank everybody that's been watching us, everybody that's in the chat, being positive. Don't need the negativity. It ain't getting us nowhere. We're working. You can see we're working. We're not doing this for our health, just to play games. So thank you all, the community. Like and subscribe below.
Yep.
Visit the websites of the guests below. The scroller below here. You can get all our websites right there. And join us next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
You got it. All right, man. All right. Fun's out.
Now get the FUD out.
Get the FUD out.
Introducing the Cool Wallet Pro, an enhanced hardware wallet the size of your credit card. It packs the most sophisticated cold storage technology inside, giving you full control of your digital assets whenever, wherever you need it. Cool Wallet Pro connects offline to only your mobile device within a 10-meter distance, and requires you to physically confirm every transaction on your Cool Wallet Pro after checking transaction details for optimal security. Cool Wallet Pro is designed for the professional crypto user who needs more than just superior security in a hardware wallet. You can plug in directly to the world of DeFi, DEXs, and other dApps, allowing you to earn easy passive income from staking and DeFi on the best crypto blockchains. Through our extensive marketplace, you can trade, sell, and buy directly from trusted third parties, all within the Cool Wallet app. while staying anonymous, retaining data privacy, and avoiding trust risks. With Cool Wallet Pro, the key to your future is in your hands.